Varsity Media is the tri-state area's leader in sports media production. We specialize in live streaming.
Gargiulo over the middle. He's got a man. It's complete. And Ciolino. See you later. Touchdown, Massapequa.
Videography. And photography. Covering all sports at all levels. We feature aerial photography and videography, college recruiting videos, live streaming of games.
Top of the key, Smith. Why not? Wow. Bang! McKee, first down and more! Charlie McKee! Touchdown, Oceanside!
School events, graduations. Varsity Media is available to cover a game, a tournament, a season, or any special event.
Talk to us a little bit about what went through your mind, how you prepared for that to run such a fast speed.
Currently, spectators are limited at events. Let Varsity Media bring the event to your fans. Contact Varsity Media today for more information. Online at varsitymedia.net or by phone 516-403-2050.
We welcome you to Farmingdale High School, where tonight the Varsity Media Sports Network presents a Nassau Conference A showdown between the 8-2 visiting Port Washington Vikings and the 9-1 Dalers of Farmingdale. Good evening, everyone. Dylan Butler here with the head coach of Manhasset High School, Keith Cromwell, and they're getting ready to start here quick, Keith, but when you look at these two teams, certainly Port Washington, a team that has some signature wins, big resume boosters on their schedule with Garden City, and just recently coming off a win against Massapequa. They're running the gauntlet here down the stretch. They've got Pequa, Farmingdale, Syosset, the big three, if you will, in Conference A. So we'll find out a lot about these Vikings by the time the regular season ends.
Yeah, tough stretch coming up for Port Washington here, but they got out of the gates early. Fast, physical team. Excited to see them in action today against Farmingdale.
They are led by a junior in Henry Haberman. This kid is legit. Loyola bound, 30 goals, 11 assists. He plays football, tough as nails. You know him well.
Yeah, Henry's a great kid. He's leader for this team out here. He's a three-tool attackman. He can dodge to score, he can dodge to feed, and he's you leave him free in transition, he can shoot it with the best of them. So he's an exciting player to watch. Loyola's getting a good one in him.
And the guy that's going to probably be dealing with him on the other side for Farmingdale, there he is, number 50, Lorenzo Ramos. Ramos, a big, physical, nasty pole, which you love to see, obviously, in that position. Did a great job, Keith, the other night against A.J. Alexander, going to Providence, held him scoreless.
Yeah, that's impressive. A.J.'s a heck of a player. And you said it, Dylan, they're matched up together out there. Expect a big-time matchup there. Ramos is a big-time player, aggressive, gets on hands. Should be a good one tonight.
So here we go. Opening face-off. It is won by Port, and they are on attack right away, and they are looking to push, and there is the aforementioned Haberman. And as we expected, it's Ramos on him. When we get a break in play, probably during a timeout, we'll be able to show you some of these starters for both teams, but it's very similar, I think, for both teams. Obviously, both also dealing with some injuries that are affecting probably their first midfield lines. Dodge there by McCarthy, switches hands, goes back. They'll work it to X. Cutter. Shot. Oh, great save by Seaman. Loose ball scooped up. First opportunity, looked like that was Robinson at the crease, and Keith, what a save by Danny Seaman.
Yeah, great first set for Port Washington there. They find an open guy in the crease, got a great look. Heck of a save by 99 and net there for Farmingdale.
Seaman going to St. John's, just a junior, so he'll be around for another year. What a performance he had against Syosset as well. 15 saves in that one. He has been huge this year, and now the Dalers on the attack here for the first time, and one of their key players here, certainly when you talk about attackmen, is Ryan Woodland there, lefty junior. And there's the Poles for Port Washington getting involved. That was Matt Hillman, the sophomore, with the takeaway, and now the Vikings look to clear. So we expected Poles for both teams. In many ways, Keith, they're mirror images of each other just in their strengths. Also expect both to join the attack when given the possibility. So it's not like that old school Pole where you kind of stop at midfield. They have the green light to go.
Yeah, they're going to be both teams fast and physical. They're going to be getting up and down this field. I expect a close scoring affair tonight, but both teams, like you said, they'll mirror each other pretty equally out here.
So hold was called. There's Jared Morales, 5. He's going to Stony Brook. Hands off, lowering the shoulder. That shot! I think Seaman got a piece. The attempt was taken by Luke Meyer, a sophomore for this Port squad.
Yeah, Luke, I think it's a lefty attackman there, but he was able to get down the alley to his right hand and get a nice quality shot on net.
Haberman hands off. 11 is Weingart. Back out top. And we'll see Haberman really kind of all over the place, where he'll come out towards midfield. Nice dodge, lefty bounce shot, wide of the mark by Morales, but certainly we expect Haberman. We'll see him at X. We'll see him on the wing. We'll see him up top. I think there's really as many touches as you can get him, the better your chances of getting a goal are.
Yeah, especially going against 50 there, Ramos.
Oh, nice shot. There's a save by Seaman. The attempt by Weingart, so another save already for Seaman. And we are seeing some pressure here by Port. Not that kind of Carolina ride, if you will, where they go all out, but certainly still they want to make it difficult for the Dalers to get the clear, but they do so with their Poles here as Ramos takes a step in, and the Dalers can start their second trip in the attacking zone.
Such a huge part of the game, Dylan. Clearing the ball, ground balls. You look at those two stat columns at the end of the day, and they usually tell the tale of a wins or losses. So clearing game's so important at this level, at any level, and Farmingdale's off to a nice start with it.
And especially, too, with how important face-offs are, right? So even if you don't have that beast of a face-off guy, if you could win the ground balls on the wings, obviously that plays a huge role as well. But we saw it the other night with Syosset. Syosset, a team that wants to play quick. The Dalers, maybe not as quick. There's a bouncer. Shot taken by Tomaso Ramos, and the first save by Patrick Kenny.
Yeah, great save by Kenny there. I really like this kid. He's quick. He's fast. He covers up a lot of that cage, and he's going to be one to watch tonight. He could be a game changer here, Dylan.
87 saves on the year for Kenny, a 66 save percentage. And when you get it kind of that high, you're getting close to 70. That's legit numbers. So many goalies, like you're kind of happy even at just 60, but he's pushing 70% here late in the year.
I'll tell you, it works both ways, too. Having a goalie with that percentage allows the offense to play a little bit more free and a little bit more unhandcuffed. Good take.
Oh, Haberman. He found that inside route, and he puts Port ahead 1-0.
Yeah, great move by Henry there. He looks like he pushed his defenseman upfield a little to allow that inside roll to develop. He's very crafty with his stick out there. His stick protection was perfect. Was able to get in tight and finish with some great hands inside.
And that's that key matchup that we spoke about. Haberman gets the first blow on Ramos and scores his 31st of the year to give Port the 1-0 lead. And again, it's C.J. Mangio. Oh, they switched it up a little bit. Tom Almadina there, 39. So Mangio took the first faceoff, lost it. Look at the physicality in the first. Flag is thrown, and that will be on Elijah Edmonds, the faceoff guy.
You said it early, Dylan. Two Class A teams here, both fast, physical. You like to see that stuff, but the ref called him with a little flag down there, so it looks like have a little power play opportunity here possibly.
And actually, you know what? Just as everyone saw the flag get thrown, but the official there just waved it off. So it looks like they actually called a timeout. Well, we'll keep it here, and we'll show you the starters for both teams, as we didn't get a chance to at the very start. First for Port Washington, up front, you've got Weingart, Haberman, and Meyer. First midfield line of Morales, Robinson, and McCarthy. On close D, Greenberg, Capabianco, the Cortland-bound senior, and Matty Hillman. In the cage, Patrick Kenny. Moving to long stick midi, we saw him at close D earlier this year, was Matt Freeman, and we just saw as well face-off Elijah Edmonds. He was switching time earlier this year at Tommy Massia, but Edmonds has kind of won that full-time job. For Farmingdale, Dailers roll out the same starting lineup as we saw in that come-from-behind win against Syosset, which means it's Becker, Woodland, and Wilson up front. Kyle Wilson has, that's one of the changes there up front. First midfield of Capucciati, Decker, and DiCarlo. Close D of Ramos, Lembo, Bolello, all football players there. The long stick midi is Smichael, also a football player. And in goal, again, Danny Seaman, head coach for Port in his 6th season, is Isaac Neal from Overland High School. That's out in Aurora, Colorado. So what's his connection? Well, he played at Hofstra, so he kind of stayed here and loved his time on the island, felt home there. And for Farmingdale, it's a Dailer through and through. Mike Hungerford in his 5th year, class of 1986. So again, no man-up opportunity. That was a flag picked up. And the Dailers look to respond after Haberman has given Port the 1-0 lead. Here's Tommy Decker. What a athlete he is. Decker moves it back. He was so instrumental in that win against Syosset. He's going to Albany, 22-11 on the season. That's a bouncer. Affected certainly by the pole. Picked up by Woodland at X. And the Dailers live to tell another tale here on this possession. It's DiCarlo. He'll just jog it to X. He's got the shorty matchup in Robinson. No movement yet in front of the cage. There goes DiCarlo. Overhand shot and a goal. DiCarlo sneaks one in, his 4th of the year for the Geneseo commit. And we are tied at 1.
Yeah, that was a great set there, Dylan. DiCarlo gets high, top side from behind off the invert set, gets to his left hand there. No slides out there, so he was able to take that top side and hide it low and bury the rock in the net. Nice job.
DiCarlo, a senior who, when we spoke to Hungerford earlier in the year, he said we have high expectations for him. He was pretty strongly recruited on that D3 level, so Cortland, Geneseo, Cabrini were all in on him, but obviously he's going to Geneseo. He says one of the things about him, too, is he plays a lot different than other guys. He's a tough cover, sees the field well, athletic, fast, shifty, but he's that lefty who gets top side a lot.
You always love when you get a lefty going top side.
Yeah.
You always love that.
Haberman, this is one of the things I love about him most is that he's so gritty. He's in there. He's not just the pretty guy scoring goals. He's getting those GBs as well, and that was a big one for Port to get this possession here and try to respond to the Dailers equalizer. Lefty or the righty low shot there by Haberman, wide of the mark.
We highlighted him earlier, Dylan. He's a scrappy kid. He plays all over the field for Port, and he has range from anywhere.
Weingart pumps the brakes, turns inside, tries to find that interior. Good job defensively there by Lembo. Ball kicked all the way out towards midfield. It's McCarthy chasing that one down. And it's Smichael on him. Smichael, in terms of lacrosse experience, Keith is just a baby. He's just learning the sport, but you could see the athleticism that he has. And again, another one of the guys who had his fingerprints or his imprint all over that win against Syosset.
Yeah, you love those type of guys, Dylan, especially as a coach, those young pups that you can groom up. They have the athleticism and the desire to get better. Those are the guys you love out there. So bright future for him, surely.
Yes, Michael's a junior. He's a football receiver, and obviously football being such a big sport here at Farmingdale. But he's got that opportunity, it would certainly seem, if he wants to make this kind of his primary sport. Having that football toughness and athleticism, I think, will certainly suit him well. And I think he could, again, Hungerford thought as well, look, if he takes lacrosse super seriously, that bouncer wide of the mark, he'll have an opportunity to certainly get some D1 looks.
Yeah, Farmingdale's bread and butter over the years has been their toughness, their desire to get stops on defense. They do a heck of a job on that defensive end, and it allows them to get the ball to their offensive guys. So nothing's changed over the years.
That's one thing certainly that Neal said as well is, and there's the first penalty. Looks like going to be a slash on Bolello. Pass inside. Bodies flying everywhere, and it's picked up. So we'll have a 1-minute slashing penalty. First man-up opportunity for either side, and the man-up goes to Port Washington.
Yeah, good one-on-one opportunity there. We said it earlier, when Farmingdale slides, they come for the body out here. So it's definitely going to be a physical game out here, and Port going on the power play here. Let's see if they can add to the go up one here.
So Bolello in for a minute, the junior Binghamton-bound defender. Let's see what Port can do with a little bit of extra space out there. Haberman, the pass to GLE. Bouncer to X, and that's not a good look there. Morales struggled to pick it up, and now it's all here for Farmingdale. If they can get the clearance, they'll certainly kill off this first man down opportunity.
Yeah, you hate to see that. You want to take advantage of those power play opportunities. Those are the ones that you want to try to get on the scoreboard there. But good stop by Farmingdale here. Looks like they're going to have a nice clear. And that's a job well done on the man-down unit.
Yeah, that was Capucciati, 12 there, sort of navigating his way through. Looked a little bit like you, kind of dodging the traffic and raindrops here coming to Farmingdale from Manhasset this afternoon.
It was a long ride over from Manhasset this evening, but I tell you, Dylan, we got a beautiful night here. I wouldn't think it looked this nice about an hour ago, but beautiful night for some Class A action and a huge game leading into the playoff run here.
Yeah, the Dalers really, I mean, you kind of look at it the way they are. 9-1 for Farmingdale, 8-2 for Port Washington. They both have a game left. Again, you don't want to necessarily handicap the next game. There's DiCarlo beating his man. Beats the pole as well. DiCarlo makes the cut. Works it to X. Good job by DiCarlo. But you don't want to handicap future games, certainly. But Farmingdale's got East Meadow. We just saw them struggle. Overhand shot and a goal. What a finish. Tommaso Ramos, the sophomore, gives Farmingdale a 2-1 lead.
Yeah, he stepped into that one, Dylan. That was a nice little feed. He split the defense there. Looked like Kenny thought he might be going low there, but he kept it up high with the high heat, and that's a nice goal there for the Dalers.
For Ramos, his third of the year, and yes, he is the younger brother of Lorenzo. A star waiting to explode are the words that Hungerford used. And that ball looked like it was ready to explode through the net. It was shot so hard by Ramos. Face off, clean win by Mangio. Oh, the return pass just off the mark by Becker. And it gets back to Kenny. One of those where you kind of, you don't want to second guess, but you kind of think maybe Mangio continues that run and then maybe passes it out.
Yeah, I love the aggression there. It's always a slippery slope. I think you're right, Dylan. If he could have taken 2 more steps and hit that point guy, they might have been able to get a little better shot on goal there. But I like the aggression. They got the ball back here. He lived to win another day.
So saying before, Farmingdale's last game of the regular season against East Meadow. Port Washington's last is against Syosset, right? So obviously significant difference in the level of toughness for those 2 games. So you got to feel if you're Farmingdale, if you can get this win, you feel pretty good about yourselves being the top seed in Nassau Conference A going into the postseason. And if Port, you want to get a chance. You want to be able to have that opportunity to play for something significant on the final day of the regular season, and they can get there with a win here tonight. Look in front. That's always a tough one against the poles, right into the teeth of the defense. It's taken away. Here comes McCarthy. pumps the brakes. He's got Schmeichel on him. That's a good timeout called by Neal because it looked like McCarthy was going to run into a whole bunch of trouble there with the Poles kind of looking to get in on him. Plus, you figure the time, it's 1:25. Good time to kind of talk things over, looking to bounce back and tie the game at 2.
Yeah, great timeout there by Coach Neal. Like you said, Dylan, 1:25 on the clock. They're chasing 1 goal right now. I think you probably want to set up a nice long possession here, see if you can get a great look and go into the quarter, maybe tied up here.
In our conversation with Neal about Keys and about Farmingdale, he said, look, Farmingdale is a very strong defensive team. They pride themselves on it, Keith, as you said, certainly. He said, looking back, they've always been extremely well prepared for us, and he expects this to be business as usual for the Dalers. He said the key for us is composure. He said when a team is as prepared as they will be, you've got to stick to your own game plan as they work to take you out of it. He said also, look, the truth or the reality is we can potentially play them again as well, maybe as early as next week. So it's important also, win or lose, to learn from this game. He said what we're still needing to work on, what we need to do well, etc. We're still learning a lot about ourselves, and Farmingdale is going to provide all the tests, or the test of tests, he called it, tonight.
Yeah, you said it, Dylan, with the shortened season here. Teams are still trying to figure themselves out. So I know it's a rat race into the playoffs here, but I know all the coaches, including myself, were fortunate enough to be playing out here, and it's a nice, beautiful night here in Dale country.
McCarthy works it to X. Switching hands, Weingart goes back. And again, it's kind of pick your poison. He's got Lembo on him. Ramos, the top close D, and then he got Bolello as well. He got Schmeichel with the LSM. So very, very tough physical defenders, no matter who's your cover.
Yeah, these 3 defensemen are animals. They play hard. It's tough to penetrate that paint in there, and you can see it. Port's kind of playing on the perimeter right now, and they do a good job with their slides and recoveries and their hedges. A lot of credit to their coaching staff with how their defensive playing out here tonight and all season.
30 seconds left, first quarter. And even there, you get the tough defensive work from a defensive midi as well. That was Capucciati, number 12. Bouncer, and that's the other part of the problem when you face the Dalers. When you do get a shot off, you've got Seaman in the net. Another save for him. We've got him for 3. The foot race was won by Port. So with 18 seconds left in his first quarter, they'll have, you would expect, certainly one more bite at the apple to try to tie this game up. Robinson gets it back out, and here's Haberman out by the 40. Haberman lowers the shoulder, switches fields, great look, lefty attempt, and Schmeichel affected that one big time. The shot was by Weingart. 2 seconds left.
Yeah, great cross-field pass from Haberman there. I thought he had a chance to maybe pull that trigger a little earlier. But
Haberman the pass, the bouncer wide by Morales, and that does it for the first quarter. Support struck first through Henry Haberman. The Dalers responded with 2 straight, and that's your score going into the next 12. It's 2-1 Dalers. You're watching this Nassau Conference A showdown on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Are you settling for a boring live stream? Can't see the players' uniforms? No audio? Camera not following the action? Consider a live stream broadcast with Varsity Media. Our announcers help tell the story of your game.
McCarthy. He's got. He's in. Touchdown, Farmingdale.
We feature multiple camera angles, guaranteed to capture all the action.
Touchdown, Oceanside!
Plus added features like graphics, instant replay.
Yeah, the shooters are going to shoot here at Bethpage, and one of many threes on the day.
Interviews, and more. It's your time to shine. And with Varsity Media, now you can. Contact us today and book a live stream broadcast with Varsity Media. Online at varsitymedia.net or by phone 516-403-2050.
We welcome you back to Don Snyder Stadium on the campus of Farmingdale High School. Dylan Butler, Keith Cromwell here. Second quarter about to begin, and there's a good look at the Dalers breaking their huddle. And 7-game winning streak for Farmingdale since an 11-6 early season loss to Garden City back on May 10th. And as we said, coming off a dramatic 6-5 win over Syosset. Keith down 4-1 at halftime. They rally, have a huge third quarter. Game-winning goal scored by Becker. The assist by Decker. He had 3 and 2. Seaman 15 saves, but a statement win by the Dalers against certainly a Syosset team that's a perennial powerhouse, certainly always a favorite to get to the Nassau final.
Yeah, that top 4 in Class A is some tough lacrosse out there. So big momentum win for the Dalers going in. That's a big-time win against Syosset, and I'm sure that gives them a lot of energy, a lot of confidence as they looking to conclude the season here.
Mangio, the face-off win. And Bolello just got out of trouble there. Good job just to pump it back out. Bolello can come off. And now you can get the regulars here. Here's Woodland, 13. Really good-looking junior lefty. 20 and 13 on the year. And Keith, you've been around Long Island certainly for a while, and Hungerford isn't one to just kind of pump up his guys for no reason, but he said Woodland, he said he's the best lefty attack we've had since Sal Tuttle or Corey Hendrickson. You remember, of course, from that state championship team in 2011. Those are some big shoes there, as that bouncer was wide by Becker.
Yeah, Coach Hungerford's a blue-collar guy here at Farmingdale, no doubt about it, and that's a great compliment there to number 13, Ryan Woodland, and only a junior out here, so a whole nother senior season ahead of him.
There he is, turning the corner and firing just wide. Becker, the only on to commit, there for the backup.
It's a good take by 13, Woodland, getting to his top hand. Little speed on his dodge. Nice to keep his goalie on his toes there and take a little possession shot there.
Yeah, he's one of those guys, too, Keith, I think if there was a 2020 season and a regular sort of travel circuit as that pass goes off the mark, he's a guy I don't think he would be on the board right now. I think he would have had his commitment already, but there just haven't been enough eyeballs, and that's what one of the things Hungerford said as well. There's going to be a lot of tape now on him after this season. A big summer you would expect certainly ahead for him, and I think there'll be a lot of college coaches interested in Ryan Woodland.
Yeah, this summer recruiting circuit's going to be wild, Dylan. With all the losing a year and with kids popping and growing up and maturing, college coaches are going to have some big decisions to make out there, but if you've gone unnoticed, it's a good time to put a lot of effort into your game.
That was some great pole work as well. They don't get the ball back just yet, but that was Capabianco, the Cortland-bound senior, eating up Woodland. Woodland had his stick up as he cut to the cage. Wasn't able to get the pass from Decker, and Decker will be playing his collegiate ball at Albany next year. Here's Woodland now, looking to turn the corner. Love this matchup as well. Woodland and Capabianco. They will go head-to-head throughout this game.
Two big physical players there. We talked about it earlier. Similar defenses. You can see it starting to get a little physical out there. This is the lacrosse you love to see.
And now they'll look to back it up. That's Capucciati, the Binghamton walk-on for next year. Hands off. And they've got to go back. Now it's Decker. Decker splits defenders right into the stick, though, of Kenny.
Yeah, great save there by Kenny. I don't think Decker ever really got his angle, but he's a strong, athletic kid. That's a great save by Kenny there, and they're pushing up in the clearing game here.
How about that catch by McCarthy as well? That one-handed catch on Kenny. And now the Vikings back on attack. It feels like it's been a little bit of a while. Here's Morales and Seaman, the save on the other end.
These goalies are going head for head here, Dylan. I love to see it. Up and down action. Good shot. Could have changed up some levels there, but great high to high. That's a great save by Danny Seaman there.
His fourth that we have so far, 2 for Kenny. There's the handoff. It goes back to Capucciati. He'll flip it to Stevie DiCarlo. DiCarlo's got a goal. He had that equalizer. And he'll hand off to Ramos, who has the other goal for the Dalers.
Yeah, DiCarlo's done a nice job initiating against short sticks out here. I think I want to see a little more of that. Get that offense buzzing out here.
Woodland gets the slash, a few of them by Capabianco. If Woodland's going to score today, He'll have the bruises to show for it for sure, the way Capobianco's laying the hammer.
These guys are going to have to hit the ice bath after practice, after the game tonight.
The 7-Elevens around here will be out of ice. That is for sure. DeCarlo at X. He's got Robinson on him. This is where he set up his first goal, where he spun around the cage. Now Woodland up top, inverted. Ooh, took a vicious shot. And the GB picked up as well. Matty Freeman. That's the way you cause a turnover.
I remember Matty as a youth player. He always had a chip on his shoulder. He grew up, he's a great athlete. He plays physical out there. He can cause a lot of action on the defensive end. I think if he can get going out here in their defense and push some transition, Port can get rolling out here.
Yeah, Neil thought he might be the most slept-on player in Nassau County this year. A St. Anthony's transfer. We certainly saw what the Friars were able to do win the Catholic Championship with a ton of talent, a ton of depth. But Freeman finding a spot here with the Vikings. That shot bounced wide, and that's always a good sort of lesson, right? There's always going to be a spot for someone like Freeman, and if it maybe wasn't at St. Anthony's or if it wasn't the right fit, he can go back to his hometown team and do damage for the Vikings.
He's a perfect example of that. Like I said, tough kid. He just keeps putting time into his craft. He's getting rewarded here nicely.
That's Jacob Shore, number 21, the senior, 7 goals, 4 assists. One of those guys who earns his time because of how he practices. And you love to see those kind of blue-collar hard workers earn their time. Here's Haberman. Again, Ramos all over him. Nice pass. Step down. Shot and a goal. Jared Morales. We are tied at 2.
Great shot there by Morales. Again, they went high. It looked like a couple times on Seaman, but he was able to change levels up there, high to low. Looked like the little bouncer went in there. And great look from Haberman coming down lefty there. Great little offensive set there to be able to tie this game up at 2.
So for Haberman, his 12th assist of the year. Morales, the Stony Brook-bound senior, with his 12th goal of the year. Nice to have a player like that on your first midfield. Mangio. The Win loses it, though. Ground ball, and it's picked up by the Dalers. And that's a little bit, too, of what you were saying about that mentality. It's not just on the defensive side. It's whenever there's a ground ball, it's the ferocity with which you battle to get them. And that's true throughout the entire field for Farmingdale.
Those tough ground balls out there build a lot of character, Dylan, and it's you find guys that can find roles in picking those balls up. They always got a job on the field for you. So I know us offensive guys love when when they get the ball down to us, and like we said earlier, ground balls and clear give those offensive guys more possessions, which you'd love to see.
He's not just one of those offensive guys. He's Rutgers' all-time leading scorer. You still are, right? They've had a great run, but
don't get me going, Bill. My family and I had this conversation the other day, and I still am the leading scorer, although there was a little scare from Charlene Beatties this year, but we're still hanging on.
Woodland. Good slide on him. DeCarlo thought about it, pops back out, looks around, hands off. Capucciati plays a little two-man game. Oh, look at his speed, but losing his tire blown out.
Great ground ball there.
Woodlands. It was Kyle Wilson who had that burst through, lost his step, but as you said, Woodland kind of coming in, scooping it up just to keep this possession alive.
Yeah, Farmingdale putting a lot of pressure on the short stick D middies out here, looking to initiate a lot from up top with their little weave sets and their little alley dodges. I like to see Decker get going here.
He's got Freeman on him. Decker. Oh, pass behind the cage. That was to Becker. And Becker harassed as well. 24, Matty Hillman, the sophomore.
Port getting out and playing. I love it.
Capucciati up top. He's got the shorty matchup. Goes back to his head coach, and Hungerford said, let's do this one again. Back it back up.
I'm going to try it for the first time here, Dylan. Capucciata.
Close.
All right, I tried.
Capucciati.
Capucciati. All right. Let's see if we can initiate here. Hard dodge against the shorties.
Shoulder down by Capucciati to Wilson. Tries the overhand. Not there. Look at the physicality. A little bit too much there by Decker, it looks like. And another flag. Decker might be called for 2 here.
This is exactly what I was thinking about on the way over here, Dylan. An old school Class A, Port Washington and Farmingdale. You know the sticks are going to be swinging. And I think you're right. It's going to look like definitely some type of power play opportunity here for the men in blue.
Well, Decker definitely got the first. I think he got a hold as well at the back end. Yeah, so he has a 1 minute and then the 30-second on the hold. So he's going to be in for 90 seconds. It's a huge opportunity here for Port. Their second man-up opportunity, unable to cash in on their first one. And that was because of an errant pass at X. So if they can clean it up a little bit, get a look or two at Seaman, perhaps they can take the lead here.
Yeah, great opportunity to get some momentum going back on Port Washington's side here. You can't throw the ball away on the power play, Dylan. They got to bang the ball around here. Look for their stars to kind of make a play here and get those hands free and see if we can take a lead for Port here.
So even though it's those 2 fouls, it is still 6-on-5. It's just a minute and a half now for Decker. And that's tough, too, for Farmingdale because he's your best midfielder. Here's Haberman, hands off. Switching hands is Luke Meyer, 27. They work it to X. Meyer again, switching. Low shot! Oh, and Seaman the save.
Great save there by Seaman. I tell you, Farmingdale makes it real difficult to penetrate that little hub area there, and giving up some low-angle shots. Seaman will eat those up all day.
I thought it was a good look, too, by Meyer, and certainly a cleaner set. And Haberman tried to affect or get the push out on Biscardi, the short stick D midi, unable to do so. So now, really, the Dailers in pole position or the driving seat here to kind of kill this one off. The Vikings, just generally speaking, anyway, are aggressive defensively, as we've seen. So certainly expect to see that again. But you've also, obviously, you've got to toe that line, right? You can't be too aggressive. And certainly without a shot clock in high school, which don't get me started on that.
I'm with you, Dylan. Don't get me started. Don't get me started.
So Decker is out. So Dailers have killed off both of their man-down opportunities. That was a significant one, though. That was 90 seconds.
Yeah, that's a great stop there, a great clear, especially the timing, right? 1:45 left to go in the half here. Farmingdale can kind of settle down, and this is the type of game I kind of envisioned on my first broadcasting debut, Dylan. A low-scoring, defensive with some good goalie play.
Some hard hitting.
It's living up to it so far.
Yeah. Like back in your Hicksville days?
Oh, man, I was nervous driving over here. The Hicksville-Farmingdale rivalries back in the day.
You didn't get stopped, did you, at the gate?
No, but I had a Hicksville umbrella in the car, and I was nervous to bring it out. So I got a couple of raindrops on my head on the way over here, but I figured that was the safest bet.
I think it would only be worse, as the stall warning is on, as if you had like some sort of Pequa gear. I don't know if Radomski would have given you any, but
I don't have any of that in the repertoire.
1 minute left, first half. Stall warning's on, so the Dailers have to keep it in, but Hungerford looks like he's going to set something up here. He's walking over to the official, and looks like he's telling him at a certain point here he wants to call the timeout, and that certain point is right now. So 45 seconds left. We joked about, your different stops at Hicksville and Rutgers, but now you're a head coach. You're at Manhasset. You've been a coach for a while, so put your coach hat on, take your analysis hat off. What are we seeing here in the final 45 seconds, you think, from Farmingdale?
Yeah, the timeout you got to take there. You want to settle your guys down. You practice for a reason out there, Dylan. So you got to have some go-to sets, some go-to plays that you want to put in here. I think for Farmingdale there, you want to get your guy 23 Decker going out here. I think maybe you want to try to attack some short sticks and get the ball moving, and maybe give him an opportunity to make a hard play. As you turn towards the end of the half here.
Guy missing, a significant loss for Farmingdale. We did see him a little bit before the start of the game. Is Dom Chaccio, and he wears that special number 40. Banged up a little bit right now. He's got a hamstring. He's not like he's out, but if this is a playoff game, he's playing. But Chaccio and that number 40 is really special here. There's a lot of high school programs that have that kind of special number. You guys have it as well.
Yes.
At Manhasset, but it's for John Krumenacher, who what a player he was, a 1981 graduate here at Farmingdale, a 4-time All-American in Hopkins. And the number 40 is there to remember and honor his achievements on and off the field. Some greats. Danowski, maybe the greatest of all, wearing that number here at Farmingdale. A huge honor, and certainly well-deserved for Dom Ciaccio.
Yeah, John Krummenacker, just a legendary name in this town here. And, yeah, you mentioned Dominic Ciaccio. You know, felt bad to see him in street clothes today. He kind of embodies the Farmingdale mantra. He's a bulldozing type Dodger, tough as nails type of kid, plays up and down the field. So I'm sure he's representing that number proudly, both on and off the field. And I'm sure the Dalers are excited to get him back in the lineup.
John Krummenacker, the brother of legendary Farmingdale football coach Buddy Krummenacker. And, yeah, you expect as well. Like, we saw him warming up against Syosset. Just didn't step on, but you could see there he is, Ciaccio, and you know it's burning him up to not be, you know, we'll be under the lights here in the second half probably, but, you know, in a big-time game late in the season to not be on the field. But, look, he's kind of like an honorary assistant coach now, right, for these down the stretch.
Those blonde locks flying out of his hat there.
Saw that a lot from the Syosset guys as well. I guess it's June.
This is the time of year, This is the time of year where you start seeing some of those wacky haircuts.
I didn't see it from you coming in, so I guess we haven't got there yet for Manhasset.
I am overdue for a haircut. Attacking the short sticks here, head up.
DeCarlo turns, 13 seconds, still plenty of time. It's Becker now. Becker, crisp cut, turns, fires. I think Kenny got a piece. DeCarlo, the backup. Still 5 seconds.
That's a good take by Becker. At least he's going hard out here trying to make a play. Short clock.
DeCarlo goes high. Low to high, and he knows that was an opportunity that was just there begging and didn't miss by too much.
Yeah, he wanted that one there. He did want that one. Had two good opportunities at the end of the half there, Dylan, but 2-2 tie going into halftime. Just kind of what we ordered up here.
Absolutely. Haberman started things off for Port. Gave him a 1-0 lead. Back-to-back goals by the Dalers. We were 2-1. Farmingdale at the end of 1. And then Morales from Haberman to start the second quarter. 2-2 after 2 quarters. It's all to play for when we come back. We'll get some halftime stats for you, some highlights as well. You're watching this Nassau Conference A Showdown on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Now is the time to showcase your skills for the next level. College recruiting videos help your athlete land a spot on the team and can save money on college tuition. Consider a professional video produced by Varsity Media. Our quality film and state-of-the-art editing will help your athlete stand out from the competition. We offer affordable rates and a quick turnaround. Contact Varsity Media today and book a college recruiting video. 516-403-2050 or online at varsitymedia.net. Now is the time to showcase your skills for the next level. College recruiting videos help your athlete land a spot on the team and can save money on college tuition. Consider a professional video produced by Varsity Media. Our quality film and state-of-the-art editing will help your athlete stand out from the competition. We offer affordable rates and a quick turnaround. Contact Varsity Media today and book a college recruiting video. 516-403-2050 or online at varsitymedia.net.
And we're back here at Don Snyder Stadium a few minutes before the start of this second half. Dylan Butler, Keith Cromwell here. A good chance for us to take a look at some first half stats for you. And when we look, we talked about sort of the ground balls and the mentality that you see from Farmingdale. And you can see there, too, they have the edge in ground balls as well, 10-6. Shots in the favor of Port Washington, but again, Danny Seaman was huge with the saves as well. 4 saves for him. Man-up opportunities, only those 2 for Port Washington. Face-offs could become a big factor here as well. 5 out of 6 for Farmingdale. They switched it up a little bit where Mangio lost the first one. Almodina came back in. Mangio then went the rest of the way, won every single face-off. So, look, we talk about how big face-offs are throughout, and it's not affected the score just yet. Again, I think a lot of that becomes kind of the pole work and what they're doing on with the big boys in the back, but could become a factor as we go along.
Yeah, Dylan, you said it. As the game shrinks here and we get into the second half, those ground balls are going to be so important. And I thought that was going to be a little question mark for Farmingdale at the face-off X coming into tonight, but they've done a very nice job. They got some 2 guys doing some good work there, and in a tie game, you always you'll take every possession you can get out there.
I'll tell you, I think C.J. Mangio really grew up a lot in that last game against Syosset. He battled Accardo, who is a face-off only guy, right? Luca got the best of him early, but Mangio started getting on and getting some rhythm going and did really well. Speaking of getting some rhythm going, we'll show you kind of how we started here, and it starts with, we said before the start of the game, Henry Haberman's our impact guy, and big reason why here, the look inside, that was for the second goal where he got the assist to Morales, but Haberman's been all over this game. The first goal, that pivotal kind of start, it's a good start you want for Port, coming off the bus and a long trip. And there he is, kind of getting things going for the Vikings, and then the assist as well to Morales, that great finish as well to tie this game at 2. What do you think we're going to see here going into this second half?
Yeah, listen, it's going to be the first half kind of what we dialed up, right? You got physical defenses out here. You got 2 good goalies playing at their highest levels. We talked about the face-off X. I think there's, it's going to be a possession game. Coaches got to use their timeouts right here. This is a high-level lacrosse game, Dylan. I think it's going to come down to the wire.
And I think it's one of those, too, where the score isn't kind of indicative, right? People think, oh, it's 2-2, it's boring, they're holding the ball, they're stalls. No, listen, the 2 goalies have been on their game as well, so it's been one of those battles where we showed you the shots. I mean, they're 14-11 in the first half. It's just the goalies have been phenomenal.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier, right? They're giving some low-angle shots, but the game's been fast, physical, up and down. It's a great Friday night under the lights here in Farmingdale.
Matt Freeman will get the first penalty given to the Vikings. So the Dalers, who did such a great job killing off their 2-man down opportunities, will have their first man-up opportunity when play stops. Here's Decker, hands off. It's not there. Good job by Capucciati. Gets it to X. Quick pass in front. Wilson spins. Nothing there. Doesn't force it, but he does kind of force that pass back out. Good job for the recovery. And here comes DeCarlo. Lowers the shoulder. And he pumps the brakes.
Great save at the midfield line, Dylan, there. You want to take advantage of these situations when the flag's down.
Yeah, you got to credit Lembo, 33. Around the cage went Decker. And now we do get the stoppage. Let's see what the infraction, I believe it might have been a slash. It was a slash, 1 minute. So first man-up opportunity for the Dalers after killing off their 2.
It looks like Haberman. Is that Haberman in the box there?
Yeah, I thought it would have been. Haberman is in the box. I thought the infraction was on their pole. On Freeman 33, not 3. And 33's out there, so I think if you're Port, this is pretty good for you here.
Playing a little 5-on-4, Dylan, here. They're shutting off Decker up at the midfield line. A lot of room. If we can get their stick work moving here, you can have a good opportunity.
Wilson hands off. Oh, just off the stick of Becker. And look at Kenny.
I really like this kid. He's active. He gets opportunities out here, and he makes a play. I love it. I love seeing it.
Listen, this kid's going as a student to Fairfield. Look, I don't know if the coaches are Fairfield are watching this or if they've watched him at all, but you've got to get him to the lacrosse field and just have a conversation because he has been phenomenal all year long.
I think he's a 4-year starter. Is that correct, Dylan?
Let me check my notes.
I think you're right, though. When he gets on campus there, he might want to wander over to the Rafferty Stadium up there in Fairfield,
Yeah.
that new beautiful stadium up there. But he's a guy to keep an eye on, no doubt about it.
He's got to bring his senior year tape with him and be like, hey, listen, put this in and I'll be in my dorm. Just give me a call. We'll have a conversation. He did start as a freshman at Friends, and then he came in to Port. But, yeah, listen, he's been there all 4 years as a varsity lacrosse starter. Look at that inside move. It sneaks in. Goal scored by Weingart. And Port Washington takes their second lead of the game.
I've been waiting to see that, Dylan. That's a hard dodge by 11 there. The 2 goals, Haberman earlier, it looks like they're pushing their defensemen upfield a little bit and able to get underneath. And they both had some nice stick protection and able to finish in tight. That's a good one-on-one dodge there against a very tough Farmingdale defense.
Hey, he took that inside route on Lembo, and as you said, look, those are 2 goals that are very, very similar. So you wonder, is that something that Neil might have seen? Maybe is it an over-aggressiveness a little bit from the poles where that goal line extended is going to be open?
Sometimes if you can have those quick hands around goal line, Dylan, and the defense is fast and physical, if you can be crafty and tight in there and get them chasing, you can have some quick opportunities. And just like Weingarten in there, that was a big-time goal.
There's Capobianco getting the ground ball. They'll go pole to pole until they get it to the shorty McCarthy. He's harassed by Smeichel, and he hands off. You mentioned injuries as well, and look, Port's also dealing with their own as well, right? Where one of their better midfielders also hurt. We'll get to that in a second as the turnaround shot by Luke Meyer. Back-to-back goes Port, and they've taken a 4-2 lead.
It all starts right there with the clearing game. We've talked about it early, Dylan, how important it is to kind of give your offense those extra possessions, and that's a great clear. Allows them to get another dodging opportunity from the attack there. So the attack's starting to come alive here.
That one not the same where they don't take that inside cut, but Meyer just continue that hard run for the sophomore. His 15th goal of the year, the largest lead, and it's only 2, but look, we were tied at 2. Huge ground ball there. Smeichel bit one there. He was hit hard, but Farmingdale comes away with it.
This is where faceoffs are so important, Dylan. They got an opportunity to Port to go the other way and maybe increase the lead to 3, but great between the lines play there for Farmingdale, and hopefully can allow them to settle down and get a great offensive possession here.
Tom Decker just handed off. Here's Capucciati. Kind of that do-it-all guy, right? That lunch pail, bring your hard hat, whatever cliche you want to use. Capucciati's been that.
Yeah, 12 and 32, right? Capucciato and DiCarlo, they've been the initiators out here this evening. They do a good job with it. They're attacking their short sticks. Port's settling in here and not sliding so aggressively, but they're attacking those short sticks hard.
That's what they're doing here. DiCarlo beats his man and scores! His second of the game, and it's 4-3.
That was a hard dodge there, Dylan. A lefty right getting to his left hand there. Great shot placement off the hip of Kenny. And that's sometimes you don't need all the juice in the world on it. You put the right placement on it, and that gets Farmingdale within 1 here. That's a big-time goal. Big goal to get them back in the game.
DiCarlo comes into this game, Keith, with 3 goals on the year. He's got 2 already. And look, it's been said by Hungerford, he's a tough matchup because he's got the physicality, he's got the wheels, and he's a lefty at that as well.
You could see it out here tonight. I'm sure Coach Hungerford's thrilled with the way he's playing, especially going into the postseason and the end of the regular season. He could be a guy that can really turn it up for the Farmingdale Dalers.
You love that play there, too, by Edmonds at the faceoff X. It doesn't mean you have to get the ball in your stick. You just kicked it back, made sure that his poles picked it up, and that's what the Vikings will do here, and it is heating up here at Don Snyder Stadium, third quarter, 4-3. Lefty look! And the finish, Jared Morales, his second, and it's 5-3 Port.
Getting to the middle of the field, Dylan. We talked about it earlier, how they kind of played on the perimeter a little the first half. And we 2-2 at halftime, and now 5-3. We got goals galore. I love it.
Morales beats Schmeichel, and as soon as the help comes, switches hands. What a heady play there, too.
Very crafty to split the double and to get the shot off out there. That's a nice play.
Mangio wasn't able to get it, and there's again the pole work. We talked about it. Oh, and the shot and the goal! Meyer! And it all started with the pole work off the face-off by Freeman, 33. And then Meyer buries it.
That's what Freeman's all about there. I think we talked about him earlier as well, and that's a big ground ball in the middle of the field, allows him to push in transition, and he finds 27 there. Luke Meyer with an absolute howitzer to the top right corner. Great shot from the lefty and increases the lead by 3 here.
Meyer's second of this quarter. He's got 16 on the year. Almedina in, and Edmonds is feeling a little bit, went again for that kick, and he'll lose the possession, so Farmingdale with a chance here to respond. They were down 4-1 at halftime against Syosset. Same deficit here, but it is a little bit later, still a lot of time. We're only midway through this third quarter, but you start to feel how important some of these possessions are for the Dalers.
So true. This is a big possession here from Farmingdale, like you said. 6:30 or so left in the third quarter. You don't want this game getting away from you by any means, and this is a big possession for the Dalers. Hopefully they can capitalize to shrink their deficit here. And
also you have to be really careful, right? Because you want to kind of answer right away. You want to give the punch back in the face, but you got to be smart about it. You can't force it and maybe play quicker than you want to.
You don't want to turn this into a rat race. It's still only 6-3. There's plenty of time left. You got to work your offensive sets here and really work for a great opportunity.
Here's Woodland. Tries to shake off the pole, and Capobianco hands off to DiCarlo. He's had the hot hand and still does have that shorty matchup.
These are some of the sets Farmingdale's been leaning on tonight. DiCarlo on a short stick. Very shifty, very athletic.
A few cross checks, gets it back to X. Hard turn there. Becker loses it. Ball's on the turf. Woodland chases it. Was that a push from behind? It's still loose. And it stays with Farmingdale.
Great check there. I think it was by Hillman on the back check.
DiCarlo lowers the shoulder. Switches it to his right. It bounces wide. The possession, though, stays with Wilson as the backup.
He's a tough, strong kid out there, 32. He plays hard.
One of those guys, too, in the preseason, and you kind of feel like it's echoed throughout Long Island, but banged up from football season. Little stutter step, lowering the shoulder by DiCarlo, pushes it back out. Capucciati thought about it. Now he fires wide of the cage.
Great little move there by Capucciati. It was one of my old-time favorites, Dylan. A little hitch and go, allowed him to get his hands free, froze that defenseman, and put a high percentage shot on net.
How did you score off of those? Too many to count.
Not too many righty ones.
Decker from up top.
Like this matchup. Freeman's a tough kid. Decker's athletic.
Decker Plays catch at X with Woodland. Woodland loses it. Oh, and look, a little extra there.
That's a good call by the ref.
So Woodland,
Flag's waved off.
yeah, they waved the flag, but the possession stays with Farmingdale. It was going the other way. Looked like it was a yard sale there for a second, but because of the extra sort of infraction there off of Port Washington, so Farmingdale gets another chance here.
Yeah, if the ball's not in your cross, I don't think he can take his stick out of his hands, and it looked like what happened. Matty Freeman's got to be a little more disciplined there. You had the ball going the other way. You were getting out of dodge there, and another opportunity on the offensive end, you lose.
Let's see if the Dalers can kind of punish here in the final 4 minutes and 15 seconds. A little juke to the left, spinning by Decker, and he loses the ball. Gets it right back. And there's a flag. So Decker, swim dodge, fires and scores! Tommy Decker! 6-4.
Ooh, that was a big-time play there by 23. I've been waiting for Decker tonight. He steps into one there, and he unleashes onto the off-stick side of Kenny. That was a big-time play there.
And how about this? You get the goal, but also the cross-check, and it wasn't waved off, so you got a 1 minute advantage, right? They didn't wave that off, did they?
I don't believe so. I think he should be serving that penalty. Looks like they're going to a man-up face-off here. You said it. These are the opportunities you love. Strike on the flag down, and then you get the opportunity, hopefully, to have another one.
So, I mean, talk about the pivotal point of this game here. You get within 6-4 now if you're Farmingdale. You've got a 1 minute man up, and what a great job by Al Medina. Just shovels it back to Capucciati, and here we go. A 1 minute man up opportunity for the Dalers.
Huge face-off opportunity there for the Dalers. You want to get that ball back to your power play unit here and let that man up go to work. So very important power play here, as we discussed earlier. These specialty situations are huge in close games. See if the Dalers can strike here.
It's their second man up. They are 0 for 1. Neither team able to capitalize yet. Port 0 for 2.
Good action.
16, Jack Agers. Good to see him back. You can see the brace on his left knee coming back off an ACL injury. Wilson thought about it. Back to Agers. Wilson, the extra pass, step down shot, and Kenny got a piece. Shot by Becker. Ground ball goes out of bounds, staying with Farmingdale.
Yeah, again, Port shutting off Decker up top here, and they're playing 5-on-4 with a little wheel action on the left side. Looking to really step into gaps, and looks like the penalty's killed here.
Yeah, we're even now, so again, neither team able to punish the other for an infraction. Here is Decker. Decker, lefty, goes high, and Kenny makes the save.
Good save by Kenny there. He kind of just sat on it. I think Decker probably wants that one back a little. He wants that far side like he had earlier. Want to make the goalie move out there, Dylan, and make those saves as tough as possible.
Yeah, that was not a problem for Kenny to just sort of see it into his stick. Ground ball, Ramos wins it.
Big ground ball by Farmingdale. Let's see if they can clear it here.
Oh,
push the tempo. They got
movement.
numbers.
The movement by Lembo, and then that pass as well out to midfield. That was like textbook, especially. I mean, it wasn't an uber aggressive ride, but textbook how to break it and get into your offense.
We talk about the clearing game so much, and it's so important. I thought Farmingdale did a great job of getting the ball opposite box. The short sticks got up and away, and they were able to clear the ball. You don't want to labor in the clearing game, Dylan. You want to get it up and out as easy as possible.
Here's DeCarlo. He's had a day. Cuts inside, hands off. Capucciati. There's Woodland. He's been quiet mostly because he's had that guy on him in Capobianco. Ball kicked out to midfield. Stays with Farmingdale. Good job just kind of shielding out at midfield there by Bolello to make sure that the short stick in Meyer didn't get that ball.
And those little plays go such a long way, and especially in these close games. Bolello did a great job. He was attentive to what's going on the offensive end of the field. He was able to box out his guy there and give his team another possession.
So Decker, not sealed off now. He's got the ball, and he'll hand off. as we approach a minute left in this third quarter. 6-4 the score. Port, a big third quarter here for the visitors.
Looks like Farmingdale going back to their little invert package here, right?
You've got DeCarlo. Decker looks to be open, but always kind of keeping an eye out on him is Matty Freeman, 33.
That's been a good matchup tonight, and especially this third quarter here. The two have been going at it. Good physical play.
30 seconds. DeCarlo again with that stutter step. Some off-ball movement now for the Dalers. DeCarlo tries to shed his check. High shot wide of the mark. Wilson there for the backup.
It's a great job by DeCarlo. Never saw a slide there. He was playing patiently while he was playing fast. He was able to really work his defenseman and get to his left hand here.
Wilson gets it back in. Turns at X. Pumps the brakes. Goes the other way. Has two on him. Turns, fires, and what a save by Kenny.
What a save is right.
Loose ball, a push. Oh, and we'll go, yeah, we'll stay this way.
Oh, I thought he had him there, and Kenny's good on those low shots. That's a big-time save there. At the end of the quarter.
6 seconds. Yard sale. Loose ball, and that's the way the quarter is going to end. How about Jacob Shore, the senior? He's an attackman usually. Give him the pull, and he'll put one on the ground. So 3 quarters in the books. What a showdown we have here at the top of Nassau Conference A. Port Washington leads Farmingdale 6-4. You don't want to miss the final 12. We have it for you next on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Now is the time to showcase your skills for the next level. College recruiting videos help your athlete land a spot on the team and can save money on college tuition. Consider a professional video produced by Varsity Media. Our quality film and state-of-the-art editing will help your athlete stand out from the competition. We offer affordable rates and a quick turnaround. Contact Varsity Media today and book a college recruiting video. 516-403-2050 or online at varsitymedia.net.
We welcome you back to Don Snyder Stadium. The lights are on here. It's Friday night lacrosse and just as good as advertised. Dylan Butler, Keith Cromwell here. 12 minutes at least remaining in this one, and Port Washington a 6-4 lead. Big third quarter, kind of for both teams opening it up, but bigger for Port. It was tied at 2 at the end of 2, so obviously advantage in that middle frame or that third quarter there for Port.
Yeah, we were talking about the defense out here, Dylan, the whole first half, and then what do you know? They come out firing. So the game kind of opened up a little here. I thought Port was a little undisciplined on some of those last couple defensive possessions. They never got the ball back, and they were humming on their offensive end. But like you said, a huge fourth quarter here, huge game leading into the playoffs and the end of the regular season coming up on Monday.
Procedure against the Dalers, so we spoke about big possessions. Well, here's a big one here for Port to try to extend their lead to 3.
Always want to get a great possession in the start of the fourth quarter here, especially when you have the lead.
When you talk about scoring for Port, got my charts in front of me there. It's all the top 4 guys there. It's Weingart, Haberman, Meyer, and Morales with 2 apiece. Bouncer gets behind Seaman. Back up there by Weingart. So Seaman, good save, unable though to kind of corral the ball, which allowed Weingart to get the ground ball, and the Vikings continue to attack.
Yeah, Denny Seaman, that's a great save from start of the fourth quarter. You want to get touched up as a goalie there, and that's a big save to start the quarter.
Haberman back to Weingart. 5 is Morales. Hands off. Meyer. Morales, and they'll work it around the perimeter. Weingart backs up. He's got Bolello on him, back up top, and they'll swing at the opposite side.
I like the patience by Port here, playing a little big, little, trying to get Haberman free on a shorty. Ramos does a nice job of staying with him.
Haberman! Almost a carbon copy of his first, where he got the inside step. Ramos did a good job, I thought, recovering, but then Haberman just turned inside for his second of the game.
I've seen that a lot from Haberman over the years. He's a tough kid. Don't let his size fool you out here. He can dodge with the biggest of them, and he lowers that shoulder. He gets his positioning, and he's able just to get underneath, and he's so quick with his hands before he can react. The ball's in the back of the net.
Massive goal for Port Washington, and probably not a coincidence. Ground ball scooped up by Weingart, that you start the first quarter and the fourth quarter with goals by Haberman. Weingart's like, get out of my way! Weingart! 8-4 Port.
We talked a lot about the physical play on the defensive side, Dylan. And this guy, number 11, Weingart, lowers the boom to be able to get a hard righty shot off.
Oh, first the bull dodge, then the fake, and then the finish.
That was a physical play there. I don't know how Coach Hungerford's feeling. It looked like he lowered the boom a little. I was looking at the refs to see if they were going to call anything, but that was some play.
So now Weingart, Haberman, Meyer, and Morales, all with 2 goals apiece. They're going to fix the clock here, put 9:55 on. That was the conversation with the officials. But how about Port coming out in the money quarter with back-to-back goals? Another procedure, and it's Port Washington ball again. We spoke about it at the top as well, Keith, the importance of this game. Port Washington comes in at 8-2, Farmingdale at 9-1. Now Farmingdale ends their regular season against East Meadow. Port, it's kind of this murderer's row to end the season. You've got Massapequa, the defending, I use air quotes because it's been such a long time, but they are
the defending yes.
state champions until somebody wins a state championship, which won't be this year, but that's another conversation. They have Massapequa, they've got Farmingdale, they've got Syosset.
I'll tell you, I like how the schedule lays for Port. You want to play some tough opponents going into the playoffs, and having that Massapequa win under the belt. Now they're in control here against Farmingdale. They could be primed for a playoff run.
Listen, we've said they opened eyes around Long Island with an early season win against Garden City. Now, you can say what you will, and there's Schmeichel with the interception. It's loose, over and back, so we'll go to Farmingdale. You can say what you will about Garden City. Maybe you certainly get the Trojans at a good time right out of the bat with them coming off the football season. But they back it up then with, again, a win against Massapequa, right? And yes, they're also a young team. But you win this game, and there's still a lot of time left, of course. But if you win this game at Farmingdale, that's really like the really big statement you can make as Port kind of stamping their claim as being for real. And honestly, Keith, even if they don't win this game, they're going to be a force in the playoffs. DeCarlo! The Dalers aren't dead yet.
Good hard dodge again from DeCarlo. We've been talking about him a lot tonight, Dylan. Getting to his left hand. Doesn't look like there's really a slide in place. He's able to really pull the trigger and get to his top side here. Again, another little hitch. Freezes his defenseman, gets top side. That's tough to handle. He's getting there. I tell you, Farmingdale getting the good spots on the field here, and that's what you need to do against Kenny.
Stevie DeCarlo has matched his season numbers in goals with this one. His third of the day. Oh, and a huge ground ball scooped up by 33, Matt Freeman. I feel like we've said his name a lot.
He's been great in those situations today.
Oh, and you could understand why they wanted to do that. Look at Seaman. They had numbers that pass from Robinson, and here come the Dalers the other way. Becker turns, and they've got to slow it down now. The numbers were there at least for a second, but Becker kind of turned the other way.
Yeah, Colton Becker there. That's a slippery slope, Dylan. You know, they're down chasing 3 goals, 7 minutes or so left. I think it's a smart decision. If you don't have that win type of play, you got to make it a draw and just see if you can keep chipping away at the Port defense here.
And here we go. Decker plays catch with DiCarlo to Capucciati, who flips it to DiCarlo. It's been DiCarlo's game. That same little stutter step. Slide comes. Capucciati. Will they make the extra pass? Capucciati! Save! Woodland! Save again! Kenny!
2 huge saves by Kenny. I love watching him in the net. He's like a jackrabbit in there. He's bouncing all around, making saves.
Another shot. Back up, not there. Kenny wins the race.
Great set of plays by Kenny there. 2 monster saves right on the doorstep, and then he chases it out to give his team a possession. Back to the clearing game, Dylan, here. Got to clear the ball and give you a chance to settle down on offense.
Yeah, the Dalers are a hard-riding team, and that's only going to be emphasized even more here with them trailing down the stretch. Good job by Morales to get in.
I think if you're Port offense here, you want to maybe settle down a little bit and take a little air out of the ball, get guys comfortable, get some touches here.
They move it up top. Weingart. You'll love it that it's balanced on the attack. Shot. Oh, Seaman the save. Loose ball. Scooped up by Bolello. Bolello off to the races. Keeps it. Shot to the head. A man-up opportunity for the Dalers. And they'll get it here.
You had a situation like that earlier. You really want to try to take advantage of those situations when the flag's down. But a nice defensive play there by Port, and the Dalers will go on the man-up situation here.
Here you see it again. Decker, Capucciati. Look at this save. How about one more? Woodland spins GLE, and Kenny goes high.
That's a great save right there. He's full of energy in that net. I love to see it. Huge stop for Port.
So it's a 1-minute man-up opportunity for the Dalers, and with 5:50 left, it only makes it even larger here how big this one is. Woodland up top.
You got Port here now shutting off Decker again. A lot of 5-on-4 opportunities on the power play. A lot of space.
Wilson, can it be chased down? Could use a timeout here if you're the Dalers. You can't get the ball, though.
Great defensive play. Is that Hillman over there, 24, I believe?
It is.
He had a nice second half here, Hillman. Remember the 2 back checks he had in the third quarter? Great play there to get a possession. Port on the run here.
They don't need it. They could just back it up here, kill this man down. Weingart. And you got to think, too, being the man down, that the Dalers maybe will be a little bit more aggressive here with their poles.
Yeah, you're starting to get to that nitty-gritty of the game here. Down 3, 5 minutes to go. It's still manageable, but I think you're right, Dylan. You want to start to really press out here a little, make it difficult on Port.
So you're even up now, so the Dalers 0 for 3 on the man up. .430, or approaching .430 left.
Be careful up at the midfield line here.
That's what Capucciati wants. Did they get a timeout? They did. So close. Capucciati nearly pushed.
Yeah, that's one you got to take there if you're Coach Neal. Still got 2 in your pocket. Towing that midfield line. You don't want to turn over, especially with under 5 minutes left here.
So Neal calls a timeout. We'll take it with him as well. 4:28 left. Fourth quarter. Port Washington leads 8-5 in this Nassau Conference A showdown on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Now is the time to showcase your skills for the next level. College recruiting videos help your athlete land a spot on the team and can save money on college tuition. Consider a professional video produced by Varsity Media. Our quality film and state-of-the-art editing will help your athletes stand out from the competition. We offer affordable rates and a quick turnaround. Contact Varsity Media today and book a college recruiting video. 516-403-2050 or online at varsitymedia.net.
We are back at Don Snyder Stadium. Dylan Butler, Keith Cromwell, the head coach at Manhasset High School. We thought coming in that this would be a slugfest that would go down to the fourth quarter. Two of the best teams in Nassau Conference A. They've checked all the boxes. It's been as advertised.
It really has, Dylan. You talked about it in the pregame out here. Physical, fast, great goalie play. Port's up 3 here with 4 and change. Going to be interesting to see how the Darlers play this here.
You'll see how aggressive they are. They're not quite at the point where like you have Seaman as that extra defender, especially with this side of the ball being the strength of your team. But now we're seeing Schmeichel doing the same sort of treatment to Haberman, sealing him off up top. And it's interesting, too, that you seal him off with a long pole. And actually now he'll just go back and play him.
Yeah, I think if you're Farmingdale here, you want to really dictate who the ball's going to and then try to get him below goal line. That might be an opportunity for the goalie to come out and play behind the net and see if he can cause a turnover.
Stall warning is on. I thought that was pretty quick.
I agree with you. I don't understand those stall calls. They drive me crazy.
Weingart. Oh, did he take one high? Thought he tried to sell one maybe. Weingart goes behind.
They're letting them play here a little.
Turns it. Now we're seeing it looks like they're doubling the ball every chance they get here, the Dalers.
Yeah, it's getting about that time. I think you really got to start to get Seaman out there. It's getting close.
Weingart. And again, they've got to keep it in here with the stall warning on.
Said earlier, Dylan, if you can get the ball behind.
Oh, and Seaman makes the save.
That's what you need. That's what you need.
That was a good-looking shot as well. Save made by Seaman, and here come the Dalers. Decker has got a man. Decker! Kenny the save! Wilson, the rebound, loses it. Who's got it? It's Port Washington.
Freeman again on the ground ball. Need a save.
Unsettled, goal! Flag as well.
That should be wiped off, I think, on a push call, I'm thinking, Dylan, but great transition opportunity there. Port pushes the envelope, and they rewarded with a big goal to make it a 9-5 lead here late in the fourth.
Might that be the final nail? And it comes from Meyer, 27. You can see Unsettled just goes to the cage. That's one of those where you have that sort of fake, right, where you have to get Seaman going. And they're keeping the call because it was a shot to the head. So you see a look here. The lights are on, and it's getting late for the Dalers, and they've got an uphill climb now. Not only do you have a 4-goal deficit, but now you're killing a man down for a minute with the shot to the head on that right after the goal.
Yeah, that's a tough one there. I love the aggression by Port to push the envelope and take advantage of a great scoring opportunity. They're rewarded here.
And by the way, to make it even worse now, for the Dalers, it's your best pole serving it as well in Ramos.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough this late in the game. Going to be under 2 minutes here.
So Meyer, that was his third of the game. And again, all the scoring for Port from your 3 starting attackmen and your best first midfielder. Stall warning on.
Dylan, you were on your A game earlier. All the guys you were talking to me about, they're the big-time performers. Big players make big-time plays, right? They say in big-time games. This is surely one of them.
And I think the same is said about the other side of it, right? Where you can't name a pole that hasn't made a big play for Port Washington in this game. Haberman, why not?
Oh, he's a shooter.
Schmeichel ate it.
Hey, why not, right? You got the power play in front of you. You're up 4. Let it fly.
You can see the clock, 1:30. Stall warning back on. Morales hands off. Around the perimeter they go. We are even. And now you've got to, right, get Seaman out as that extra defender, I would think, no?
I think so.
Especially since you brought in the shorty to come in, right?
They're shutting off here. They're letting number 43, they're letting Bilello go to work.
Here's Weingart, a minute left in the fourth. All Port Washington in the second half. And their crowd is getting excited. Weingart in no hurry to go anywhere. 45.
It's like Port's going to be able to run the clock here. It's a huge win for the Port program.
Port Washington opens the season with a win at Garden City. Hey, you guys were able to do that, but not many programs can get that win at Garden City.
Anytime you can get one against those guys, they're a heck of a program. Extremely well coached. I don't care if you get them after football season or end of the year, they're always dialed up.
Port then follows that up with a late season win against Massapequa, the team that lifted the trophy 2 years ago. And now they come to Don Snyder Stadium under the lights, and they beat the Dalers 9-5. Is Port real? You bet they are.
I think so, Dylan. They're looking, they're primed to make a run here. I like them early in the season. They're fast, physical. They get up and down. They got the goalie play. Huge win for the Vikings.
Luke Meyer, your leading scorer with 3 goals. You've got 2 apiece from Weingart, Haberman, and Morales. And what a day in the cage it was for Patrick Kenny. Fairfield, take a look, will you? He's for real, as are these Vikings. Port improves to 9-2. That's also Farmingdale's record now, 9-2. We go into the final day of the season. We've got it for you. We're going to be a big part of this stretch drive of the regular season. Let's take a look at these upcoming games that we have. And indeed, we will be the Port and Syosset game. Oh, baby, what a game that'll be. Could very well decide how Nassau Conference A ends up. And again, Farmingdale goes and plays East Meadow. The Jets looking to maybe cause an upset. You see the rest of our matchups as well. All of these games right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Subscribe to us here on YouTube. And, of course, you want to follow us on social media. We'll have a lot, as you see there. We're going to have some playoff broadcasts. Stay tuned for some announcements. So you want to follow us on all of our social media handles. You see them there on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter as well. It's been an unbelievable game. Keith, you picked a great one to jump on to make your broadcast debut.
I could check one thing off the bucket list, Dylan. I had 2 things growing up, to play in the NBA and to broadcast a game.
With the Varsity Media Sports Network, of course.
Of course. You guys do a heck of a job. I love it. I love it.
So that should wrap things up. And again, your final score, what a game it was. Port Washington, we were tied at 2. In fact, they were down 2-1 after 1. They rally. They win it 9-5. For Ron Pierre, for Ben Turchin, for our man Dan Lippenholtz as well, doing our directing, and, of course, for Keith Cromwell as well. I'm Dylan Butler. Thanking you for joining us from Farmingdale, and we will see you again soon. Have a good night, everyone.
Now is the time to showcase your skills for the next level. College recruiting videos help your athlete land a spot on the team and can save money on college tuition. Consider a professional video produced by Varsity Media. Our quality film and state-of-the-art editing will help your athlete stand out from the competition. We offer affordable rates and a quick turnaround. Contact Varsity Media today and book a college recruiting video. 516-403-2050 or online at varsitymedia.net.